I'm Shamla. Welcome to Java tutorial 2. In this tutorial we will discuss about Java variables. There are three types of variable. One is local variable, second is class variable, third one is instance variable. Local variable, we know about local variable. Let's take a simple example and try to execute these variables and try to understand the concepts of these variables. Local variable is declared inside the method, whereas instance variable is declared inside the class but outside the method. And static variable, it cannot be a local, and also once the static variable is initialized, it cannot be changed. We will see about the depth of static variable in our later tutorial, but in this tutorial we will just go through overview concepts of these variable. Let's take an example and try to understand these concepts. In the last tutorial we have created a project. I'm not creating a new project here. I'm using the old Samsung project. In this project I'm creating a new class. We can give the any class name. Since I'm trying to explain something which is related to variables, I'm giving the class name as var, and keep the remaining things as default. As I said in the previous class, click on finish. So now we got something like public class variable. Now we got variable, it's a class name. Since we have given var as a class name while creating the class, var.java by it is created, this Java file is created by default in Eclipse IDE. And these are the things, public static main, it is required in order to execute each and every program as I explained before. Now take an simple example to execute the variables in our program. First I am taking instance variable, not a local variable. As I said before, instance variable, it will be inside the class but outside the method. Inside the class, outside the method. So I am creating an instance variable now, int I, something for instance I, something like that. I'm giving the variable name 10. Okay, and one more thing is static yes, something like that. You can give whatever you want, terminate each and every statement. Yeah, something like that. There is an error. It is showing an error because I have not written into here. Write into static int s20. It's an static variable. And the third one is local variable. Local variable, it should be inside the method or function. Class usually consists of data members as well as method. These are the data members I have included in my class. Now I'm including a function member. I can take any function. My function is returning y. I will take function. Yeah, you can give any name, whatever you want. Inside this I'm creating one variable, int, it's a local variable, L equals to some number 30. Okay, I terminate this. This is about the instance variable, static variable. Now I have written the local variable. Now I will try to use these variables inside the main. And one more important concept what we are learning in this tutorial is how to create an object. The syntax is very simple. We need to take the class name What is the class name? var class name, var with the, what is the name of the object you want to create? v1. It's the name of the object what I want to create. var is a class name. I have written that. This is my object name. Whatever you want you can mention it. And new is the key in order to create an object of the type what? Class var. var is open it and terminate this. This is the syntax of creating an object to the class where, var, something like that. Yeah, you can do however you want. And now I want to call these method, or I want to use these variables. Here I want to use the variables system out println. Inside this, the first one is instance variable. What is the value of that? And if you want to, whatever inside the double quote will be printed as it is. If you want to print the content of the variable, you need to include, you want to add one more statement to this, or one more variable to this, you need to make use of plus sign and use I and terminate the statement. Now it will be saying like instance var, and then forwarded by the content of I. And we cannot directly call I because it is inside the class. We need to call using an object what we have created. That is the reason why we have created object, right? So I'm making use of my object v1. Dot is the specifier used to call the structure variables or the class variables. So I have used it. And in the same fashion, I want to make use of the static variable. I want to print it in my output screen. This is not an instance, it's a static variable. So I will replace it with static. And one more thing is, it is not an I. What is it? Yes. And you might be wondered why I'm not using function L variable. That variable cannot be used inside the main. Why? Because it is a local variable which is limited to that, which belongs to only that function, not any other functions, or it cannot be included in the main. Okay, now I am done with my program. Let's go ahead and execute this program. Click on run. Yes, I want to run this. Okay, we'll see the output. So instance var 10, instance var, however it is this character is displaying in the same fashion in instance var. And v1.i, the compiler start executing the statement from the main. Compiler sees what's happening here. var is the class. What is it? var is a class. It goes to the var. Okay, var the class. We are creating an object for it. This is the syntax to create an object. System out println. Okay, compiler thinks whatever inside the double quote I have to print out in the same fashion. So it prints as it is. And the plus, okay, it's my job is not over here. I got still some extra work. What is it? v1.i. v1, which is something belongs to the class name var, where it goes to the class variable dot I.